Hi, I'm Lenda Murray, and you are watching the Lenda Murray Experience. Today, I have, fresh off of her win, the Triple O, and qualified a third time for the Ms. Olympia. So we will see Theresa Ivancik.
Hi.
All right, we're gonna get this started with the first exercise for back, and Theresa, explain this exercise.
Okay, so I like to do a high lat pull to get everything kind of freshened up and started. Whenever I do back, it's all about the stretch. That's what's gonna just elongate the muscles. A machine like this is really cool because you can change your variations up on how wide you wanna take your stretch, just like if you were using different bars and attachments. So the wider you go, the wider the squeeze you're gonna get to come back. I chose with a kind of like a happy medium. I do suggest doing the exercise with palms down and then moving the palms up so it helps hit the rhomboids.
Okay, all right. There you go.
So I always take a step back just to give you like a good stretch, and then it's pull and tuck the elbows back. So you always want to just drive with the elbows. So it's just chin, chest up.
Okay, I see. So you're an overhand grip, it's not under, and you're twisting.
Yep. So it's just all about the stretch because you want the back to stretch out, and then when you go to pull with the back instead of just manhandling the weight. So you just want to go for the squeeze.
So tell me why this stretch is so important.
It just elongates the back. It just gives you better back development. It doesn't shorten out the range of motion.
Yes.
And then you can control your squeezes.
Wow. Yep. If you can really see the back working, seeing the stretch and contraction there. Really pretty back development. And so, how many sets?
So I would say you could do anywhere from 3 to 4 sets on these. And then your rep ranges can just depend on if you want to do high volume, if you're going for squeezes or holds, positives and negatives. I usually would just stick to anything around like 12s and 10s. And then another thing that you can do with the machine is you can move these straight down and pull straight back.
Take them all the way down.
Yeah, you can put them straight out in front of you, and then you're going for a total different squeeze. You're going to use the same exact hand movements in terms of rotating the wrist, but you're going to hit the back completely different, but you're still using the same bars and attachments.
Okay, so do you have a preference as far as like cables versus bars versus dumbbells?
I like variety, and I'm like obsessed with back, so like when I do back, I'd make sure I hit like highs, lows, all angles. Like I don't shortchange anything, you know, I want to make sure that I hit it from all angles. Each week it's just changing the different bars that you're using. So if I use these this week, then I'm going to change them next week, and I'm going to change my different type of high pull. So I might not do these, and I might just do like a straight lat pull down. Okay,
let's give us another set so we can watch you in action here. Yep, so, and what I love is, first of all, also control throughout this movement. Her body's not rocking forward, back, and she's got good control. And that's one of the things too, wow. See, I think when I first started training back, it was challenging to understand like how you train your back, like staying in position and using the back to pull the weight versus your legs and your midsection. Yeah. So did you immediately connect with back?
I think I did. It was just one of those things like you want to like drive with the elbows, use your fingertips. Your fingertips are a lot stronger than what you think. So if you're going to go in for a full grip, you're going to get a lot of the forearm, and you're going to be overpowering with the forearms instead of just using those fingertips to pull down.
Give that demonstration too, because that's a very excellent point when it comes to training back. Sometimes people that grip, they're using their biceps and their forearms. So demonstrate that as far as what you mean as using your hand as a hook.
So if I'm gonna go to pull, you'll just see my fingertips are kind of just hanging on. So you have a lot of power actually right there where you can just pull. And now I'm actually gonna use my back more. You know, and this is another thing, you can use this singly. You could do these underhand grip, you could do a power grip this way. Like see, this machine has a lot of variations to it. But you want to use your fingertips because now I'm just going to stretch it and I'm going to pull with my back. If I'm going to grip it, I'm going to just power back. And I'm going to miss that whole contraction.
See that. So grip it with, see how when the hand is, she's using, you can see biceps.
Yeah.
And when she's talking about just using her hand as a hook, she knows she's getting all back.
And you're just getting that squeeze.
Getting that squeeze. That's excellent. That's an excellent point to make because people don't, they don't understand that all those little bitty things makes a huge difference in back development.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, huge difference. So you said you would change this up. You could do it from the
A mid-range.
a mid-range.
Or even low. You
Even
can
low?
you can do you can use this however you want. And it also hit the back differently depending on where you want to raise it. So you can continue to keep raising it up 1 week and then you can put it in the middle where we have it now, or you could go low and go for a middle squeeze.
Okay, so you do 4 sets of this exercise.
About 10 to 12 reps.
About 10 to 12 reps. And you do the 10 to 12 reps, is it because of, like when you get to the 9th rep, you want to make sure that when you get close to the 12th, you can't do 13, 14, and 15.
Yeah, you don't want to get sloppy with the form either. So you want to wait that like you're getting to failure. You might have 1 or 2 extra in the tank, but you don't want the form to sacrifice.
Okay, outstanding. I'm trying, anything else you want to really talk about with this particular, would you start, like you said, you vary, you do 4 exercises for back when you do back training, or do you do 3 or 4? Or?
I feel like I usually do like 6. Like, I mean, I will do 3 high, 3 low, and then I'll do rectors and shrugs.
Okay.
Just because like it's the angles for me. But again, some people like, everybody's different. They might wipe out, you know, their fuel sources aren't that high. Maybe that's not something that they need to do or work on for the division that they're doing either.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So then let's go over to our second exercise.
Okay.
All right. So we're on to our second exercise for back. And Theresa, this is one for me, like, it's exciting, like different.
Yes.
Like I don't think I know I didn't incorporate this into my, so it's always nice to see something different.
Absolutely.
So explain to me then what you call this exercise, the name.
Yeah, we have a different name for these. We call them seated squeezes. Again, the same thing you're going to do is you're going to draw with the elbows. You're going to take them back. It kind of mimics like any type of, it's a rowing type movement. So you're going to hit more of that mid back, but you're going to draw with the elbows and you're actually going to just, again, fingertips and squeeze.
Okay. Again, even with dumbbells, fingertips. So anytime you do back, you're conscious of that, what we were talking about with making sure that your back is working, not your biceps, not your forearms.
Because if you grip and you find out that you're gripping too much, the weight's too heavy. So you're manhandling it instead of actually using it.
Okay.
And if I could teach any of the younger, crowds and anybody that wants to do things how we used to do them, we thought heavy was the way to go. You will develop a lot faster if you actually use the muscle.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I see athletes with lacking back development, it's so important in what we do. I always think, like, what are they not doing? Like, we all have backs, we all have the, rhomboids, and are they training too heavy, not really using their back to train?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I use a bench, and you just sit at the very, very end of it, and you're gonna find a comfortable weight to actually, like I said, use the weights with them. I put my feet out in front of me, and the dumbbells are actually gonna go in between. So you're gonna sit right at the edge, and you can even just pop your toes off if you wanted to. You're gonna get a good stretch. The same thing, just let the arms kind of hang, and then you're gonna pull and pop the chest up. So you're gonna just stretch it, and then pop, squeeze. So I always use the stretch, pop, squeeze, and your form will actually always just kind of flow.
Okay, I see.
So these, you want to kind of stay like tipped over. You don't want to end up here.
Yes,
so you're gonna be here and just squeeze.
Makes sense. I love this. So yeah, and see, this is like one of those motions where an athlete could get too into the rocking and moving because so you stretch it down and you bring it up and you stop and control it so the back is at that point. You're not sitting all the way back up.
Just stretch and
that
squeeze.
Looks great. That looks great. Yep, you can really see that back development. Wow. Yep. Perfect. That's awesome. And you call these
I do them seated squeezes.
Okay,
It's just the easiest way to know how to do them because you're seated and you're focusing on the squeeze. Back is again one of those things you want to squeeze. Most people don't squeeze or squeeze and flex. So it's the stretch, the pop, and the squeeze.
Yeah.
Because when you pop the chest, you're gonna get the elbows to draw back and give you a bigger pinch.
Okay.
Rather than you staying over, I'm kind of stopping here.
So when you say pop the chest, what do you?
So if you're here, let's say if I'm here and I'm gonna row and I'm gonna stop right here, my elbows can only go this far back. If I pop, I got a little bit extra to go back.
Okay.
So people are missing that full range when they're staying at one level.
So this would be, because always with the back, I mean, so if you're doing like bent over barbell rows, you know how a guy, people can use their legs too much. You know what I mean? But if you stop at a certain point and you know that you're using your back to pull the weight, it's good.
Yes,
so that was a controlled movement.
Yep, absolutely.
That was control. That was perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Yep, that's good. It's excellent. Wow. Nice rhomboids. Very nice lats. Perfect. That was great. Wow. Thank you. That was awesome.
Cool.
And so there's a third exercise that you say that you do with dumbbells.
Yes.
And what's that third exercise?
So these are like seated good mornings. And these, you don't want something super heavy to actually, work with. So this is all about the breathing. I'll do it without the dumbbell first, and then we'll apply the dumbbell.
Okay.
Most people don't have strong rectors, which will serve as a cushion to the spine. So this movement here, you can do starting off with nothing at all, or just holding a 10-pound plate. You're gonna sit at the very end of the bench.
And what do you need here to do
I'm
this?
just gonna use, I'll use 25s.
Okay.
And you're gonna keep your feet apart, like wider than shoulder width, and then your hands are just gonna cross, so this is where your dumbbell is going to be. And then you're gonna take a big inhale, and you're gonna hold your air, and you're gonna go down, because it keeps the back tight. Hold your air while you're here, and then you're gonna come up and arch, and here's where you're gonna exhale.
Okay.
So your exhale's gonna be at the top. So you're keeping your spine and everything tight the whole way down, so you're not all loose by holding your air, and then you're gonna exhale. So it's just a big air, you're gonna come straight down, and then you're gonna pull up with the rectors, give an arch, and then blow out.
Wow, this is the first time seeing this ever. Wow, this is really...
So if you're gonna use a dumbbell, which you can use plates or anything like that, I just tuck it right here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take a big inhale. And come up and exhale. So it's just kind of a roll, back flat, and then you're gonna come up and arch.
I love the fact that it's seated, the legs are wide apart, giving you a nice base, and good control. Good. And also what I'm noticing here, it's the same as when people do hyper extensions, and sometimes they go too far back.
Yes.
You're staying
You should feel just a little.
Just a little
it's that
bit.
pop again, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys understand that. It's demonstrated without the weight. So we can talk about that.
Yeah. So the back's just gonna be almost completely flat. And then your main focus is your rectors right here. So when you're here, you're gonna pull up with these. So you're gonna come up nice and slow, use them, and then put an arch at the top. So it's that big inhale, let the rectors do the job, and then, and these are ones even like people that aren't fitness enthusiasts, don't have, like people, everyday people should be doing this.
Yeah, because you could do this at home without weight.
Yes. Yep. And it's and if you wake up the next day, you're gonna feel a little bit of tightness probably. It's normal. You didn't hurt your back. It's just the rectors have not been used.
Yeah. So we talked briefly before we started this, and you talked about the importance for you in, I believe it's this exercise.
Yes, this one alone, yes.
And tell me what you said about that.
Yes. So for this exercise, it's my bread and butter, and a lot of other people and a lot of our athletes, they have a bad back. But the erectors serve as that cushion to that spine, and it keeps me fully intact. So it keeps everything strong and where it needs to go, and it's allowing me to do my everyday life without having that hindrance of that back pain. So that's why these are very important. You do not want to over rep these either. These are literally 3 sets of 10 and done. Like, you don't want to do any more than 10, really. And these I like to put in towards the middle or even the end of the workout, because it's kind of like a nice cool down as well, but then you're finishing off with the erectors and then you're done.
I feel you on that one, because I feel when I normally would do like my hyperextensions toward the end, because when your lower back is really tight, it's like you feel like you can't do very much. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
A lot of sense. Great demonstration, great exercise. We're on to this is our fourth exercise. Fourth exercise. And Theresa's going to demonstrate something this machine is called the pec fly rear delt. And normally that's what we use it for. But you're going to show us an exercise on how to get more of the rhomboid.
So I like to use this machine specifically for like the rhomboids, and again, it's the push back. You have to start feeling the push from the back. I like the seat up a little high, but then you're also going to want to adjust it to your height. But you're going to get on, and then it's kind of putting your hands forward to see where you're at. Now, I'm not using any of the hand attachments. I'm actually going to use the side attachment. Doing this, you're just going to put your hands this way, and you're going to actually go pushing outwards. And again, weight can't be heavy. It's not supposed to be one of those machines. So again, I'm kind of pop as I go back. So I'm going to drive and pop.
I see.
So I'm going to stretch and then squeeze.
And working the rhomboid. It's awesome. Oh, it looks so good.
And then you just want to make sure your hands stay straight, so you're not like pulling these in. You want to keep them here. And squeeze back. And again, I can actually take my fingers off, and I'm just like pushing with the palms of my hands.
And see, that's another example there again, where you're working the back. It's not about the forearms. You're not gripping, and she's also keeping her chest against the pad. A lot of control here.
You should just feel your back taking you back. And then when it starts to get sticky, you're done.
And even the fact that you're on your tippy toes there, you're not like,
because you don't need your legs.
You're
like we said, when we do back, we use other body parts. But here, whatever you're working on is what you should be using.
Because I see people you
staggered stance, grab the
yes. And then that's, to me, I think that is so very important for people with weak backs. Like they're genetic, they're not gifted in that area, to really learn and connect muscle, body to that body part moving that way.
And I think that if you start to really learn to control these movements, especially on your high pull, and let's say you're new to competing, you're going to be able to work your lats better in your posing, because you're going to have that mind-muscle connection now. So if you can connect on the floor, you're going to be able to connect with yourself through your posing as well.
So on to our second set here. And again, this form is amazing. You notice that she's bringing it parallel. She's not going past and crunching the back end, and working her rhomboid. So she's doing this exercise. And do you think about that rhomboid as you're doing this?
Absolutely. It's the mind-muscle connection. You're also keeping the tension on the muscle. So I'm not actually tapping the weight. I'm coming really close to the stretch, but I'm not letting the weights tap. So I'm keeping under tension, focusing on me pulling back with the rhomboids and then squeezing.
Great point to make there. She's got that weight controlled throughout the whole movement. You do not hear the clicking and clacking, and it's controlled throughout the movement. That's great. So we're wrapping up our back workout. All done. Thanks, guys, for joining the Lenda Murray Experience. So go over quickly that 4 exercises that we did.
So you want to start with that high lat, change your bars, change your attachments, use your fingertips more than the power grip. Like I said, I like to do those, or even if you want to try doing some pull-ups in the beginning before, you know, the back taps out, you can do those. And then, you know, you move into those seated squeezes, you work those rectors, and you really focus on the squeeze of those rhomboids. Try all those exercises. I will guarantee you got a pump because I know I did today.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great. Thank you so much for explaining and demonstrating back development, because it's so important. All the body parts are important, but your back's important. I mean, even if you're not competing on that stage, you want a strong back. Your back is your posture, your structure.
Yes.
So it's super important.
Yep. Everyday life, people.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we look forward to seeing you on that Olympia stage. You've qualified for the Olympia in Las Vegas, helping us to celebrate 60 years. So give us a preview of what we can expect to see on that stage.
Okay.
That is definitely great back development.
Thank you so much.
See you at the Olympia.